Hello and welcome. What we're going to be looking at today is how to create an administrative profile which has access to all of the data within your MembersVillage instance. And where we'll be doing that today is within our development platform, meaning you'll see a whole bunch of data which is essentially fake. What you'll want to do is head over to the accounts section and then click on users. This will bring you to your accounts or your profile listing. And from here, you can simply click on Add Profile. Now, you're going to notice a couple of fields, and some of them you may see inside of your database, some you may not, some may be required here, some may not be in yours. This is because no two organizations are the same, and everyone's database is built out for their specific needs, meaning the fields don't exactly have to match up what you might see on your screen. However, there are a couple of fields which are core fields, and those I will clearly describe for you now. The core fields are the access group. They are the user has the privileges of these groups, the active flag, and the temporary password and temporary expiry date. Now, coming back up to the top, what the access group means is, well, one, you don't have to use it. You can leave it blank. And what that will mean is that anybody with access to the administrative portal will be able to edit and delete this profile. However, setting the access group field to a specific group means not only does somebody have to have access to the administrative portal, they also have to belong to a specific group within the portal itself. Meaning, if I was to set the access group to super administrators, somebody would have to be a part of this group before they can edit or delete my profile. But again, it is not something you have to set. It is just another way to isolate your data. Leaving it blank will just mean any administrator will be able to modify and remove this profile. And that is how we're going to leave it for now. Now what I'm going to do is quickly run through these required fields, which are, again, featured within our development instance. And once again, they may differ a little bit from your instance. The password field, even though it is not required, it is something that you can set as the administrator. Now, setting the password means that you would then have to provide the password to the user you're creating the account for, and that you would have to do externally through like an email or maybe a text message, or maybe they're sitting right beside you and they can sort of jot it down. But as an administrator, you do not have to set it, because what I will show you at the very end is how to set an invitation email which the user can then use to access their account. Now, continuing our profile, we just work our way down and complete it until we get to the user has the privileges of these groups field. Since we are creating an administrative user, and since in our instance we only have one group that actually has access to the administrative portal, what I'm going to do here is set the user to the supergroup, meaning as long as the person logs in, they have access to all of the data within your database. And by default, MembersVillage comes pre-built with the super administrators group in place. So you'll see that group available to you right away. What you can also do, or should do, is activate the profile. If you do not activate it, it means it does get created within your database, but the user cannot log in using that profile. So definitely is something that you want to activate. Now, what you can optionally do as the administrator is set a temporary password. The purpose of that could be a few purposes. You could set it so that you yourself can log in as this new person just to verify everything is working as you want it to. And that way the temporary password expires at a certain date and you don't actually need to know this user's real password, and they don't have to disclose it. What you could also use the temporary password for is just to create a very basic password. I'm just literally gonna type in the word password in here. And what you can do is set the date to expire today. So for example, you can then get back to this new administrative user and say, hey, here are your login credentials, and here's your temporary password that you can use to log in, and then set your actual password, and this new temporary password will expire after today. And once you are done completing your form, you simply hit submit, and this new user has been created. Now, The final step is one, you again, depending on how you've chosen to create this profile, you could at this point provide the credentials to your new administrator if you've set a password for them. Or you can simply click on the kebab here and choose invite. And what that will do is it will allow you then to send an automated email to this new user, which will provide them with a magic link, which is a link they can click, which will automatically log them into the platform. And at that point, they can set their own password. So that's sort of a way that you can use where you don't have to set their password on their behalf, and you can allow, you just set up the basics and you allow them to complete the process by setting their own password through this invitation email. And that is how you go about creating a administrative account. Thanks for watching.